Hello everybody, it's Monday the 24th of March and I'm not in a very happy mood this morning. The main video will follow this one is only for a few seconds, but I took my partner to Island Mall this morning in Lapu to get her braces sorted out at the dentist, and whilst I was at Island Mall I went to my normal cake shop, bakery, by an Australian, to buy my sausage rolls. And lo and behold, some greedy fucking bastard bought 20. And it was a little shit wearing a fucking Arsenal shirt and wearing a wig. And he bought fucking 20 and all they had was 20. What a fucking liberty. Hello everybody. Oh. That includes my cat. He wants out because he's a male cat, but he's on heat. He wants to get over the wall to all the female cats, and I won't let him. I wish they'd do pornographic magazines for cats, but they don't do them. Anyway, I'm a bit sweaty this morning. I've been on a rush job. I had to go to Island Mall this morning when it opened at 9 o'clock to get a mobile phone and some other bits and pieces. Then I went to Metro to get some tomatoes for tomorrow and some snacks. And then I remembered Sky was coming to change over to Converge. So that's my busy morning. So I've got people probably walking in and out this morning, putting in a cable in. I think Converge are taking over from Sky in Lapu. I'm not really sure, but Sky's not very reliable anyway. They keep going off sometimes for 3 or 4 days without any notification. I've got Converge I've got 2 other Converge accounts, which I don't have any problems with whatsoever. Anyway, the title of this video is, "Oh my God, my partner's a transgender." Now, in all my other videos, people have asked me, why don't you ever show your partner? You're always on your own or whatever. Well, basically, the reason I don't show her is quite simple, really, because she's fucking ugly. That's her words, not mine. Yes, she's transgender. It's not a sexual relationship or a romantic relationship. It's a friendship relationship. We sleep in separate rooms and she goes to work in the morning and that's it. Anyway, I'll explain what happened. I was in England sorting out paperwork to come to the Philippines. Yes, I was going to come to the Philippines anyway. And my chosen destination, would you believe it, was fucking Dumaguete. Yes, the place I fucking loathe at the moment. Although I've never been there, but for me, it's far too many foreigners there anyway. Anyway, whilst I was in the UK, I thought to myself, well, I'll go on to a dating site just out of interest. I don't go on dating sites. It's the first time ever in my life I've gone on a dating site. And not being very computer literate, I must have pressed a few wrong buttons because I ended up with the mail section. And I had a load of gay boys sending me emails. Well, not emails, messages. Which I politely fucking replied, "I'm not interested in a man, please don't email me again." Anyway, lo and behold, this woman came on that I thought was a woman. And I replied and we got on conversationally, we got on very well. She didn't let on until I read the profile that she was a man. Anyway, not to be deterred, but some of you may write some comments, but I did not know that she was a transgender. I did not peek through any keyholes in the toilet doors, seeing that she stands up or anything. It was purely We basically contacted each other, probably in error on my part, on Filipino Cupid. But I didn't realise at the time that she was a male. But anyway, that's by the by. We continued writing, and during the pandemic, I was in England, and it was very difficult to get to the Philippines. I had all the medicals done, I had everything done. I went through a young lady to get my SRRV visa, and in the end I got permission during COVID from the, the Filipino retirement agency that went through the tourist board and all the other balls that I have to go to for passing it. And I passed, and I got permission to come to the Philippines. I then had to get a visa from the Philippine embassy, which was fucked up. And I went back and they replaced it free of charge. Very good, very excellent service. I cannot fault the Philippine embassy in London. It was excellent. Anyway, during COVID, it was very difficult to get a hotel, as you can imagine. I managed to get one for my 10-day stay, which was a shithole. The food was absolutely fucking disgusting. But as I say, you get what you pay for. I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to pay for an expensive room if I'm not allowed out, so I'll get a cheap room, thinking that the meals would be reasonably good. But they put a plastic box in a carrier bag and left it on my door handle every morning. It consisted of rice, occasionally a fish head, mainly fish all the time, a fish head, and I don't know if I had any vegetables or not. I think I had a small amount of vegetables. But one day, I asked for some fruit, and fucking hell, they left me a banana the next day. I was absolutely over the moon. In fact, I didn't even want to eat the banana in case it was the first and last one I ever saw. But anyway, I ate it. And that was the last bit of fruit I ever had during that 10-day stay. Whilst I was in England, and I contacted this girl, her name was Jules, and I arranged to rent a house in Song, and she went and looked at it, and she helped, do the administration. From the pictures, it looked big, it looked quite nice, but when I got there, it was like a rabbit's hutch. I fucking hated it. It was in a, what they called it, a built, like a compound. You had a security gate, and the next house opposite was about 5 meters away. It was kids doing skateboarding at 6 o'clock in the morning, that type of thing. And I was paying, they wanted $500 for that, and I got it down to $400, and I think they removed the TV, the washing machine, and one of the air cons in one of the bedrooms, which I thought was quite nice of them. So I paid $400. It ended up I was paying about $20,000 a month. But then on top of that, I had the Wi-Fi, I had security, and electric and other bits and pieces. Now, I moved in there I arrived in Lapu-Lapu on, the 3rd of December, and on the 16th of December, we had Typhoon Odette, which was my first experience of a typhoon. So that was quite an experience. And I moved into the house. She went back to her mother's and everything, and I hated it there. I fucking detested it. It was full of cockroaches on top of the microwave, cockroaches in the shower, it had ants everywhere. It was not clean whatsoever. It was fucking disgusting. In fact, I should have took them to court, actually, because I only stayed there a few months, but because I signed a contract, I had to pay up for the term that I had said I would. But we came to some agreement on that. They said it was only 5 minutes to Paho from Song, but it wasn't. Sometimes it took over an hour. But anyway, by the by. So I decided that we'd look for a place near a family in Paho. And lucky enough, the house that I'm in now came up for sale, cheap, because it needed renovating. We spent money on renovating it. And it's now our home. We're literally 5 minutes from a family home, 5 minutes to the bank, 2 minutes to Metro, 1 minute to the bus terminal. So I'm happy here. So when we was renovating, we shared the house. There was a bedroom downstairs, and we got a fold-up bed, which we took. Well, we had one double bed and a fold-up bed, and we took turns each in sleeping either one, because the fold-up bed was killing my back. My back was fucking hell. It was like a metal bar across the bed, and I put cardboard on it and everything else, and it just. It was like, it was terrible. But we managed. We got the house renovated. During that time, I caught dengue, which my partner looked after me. She took me to the hospital and helped me get all the medicines and everything else. She was a great help. So don't say anything about transgenders, because what I can say about transgenders is if you get a good one who's very honest, I got 100% trust in her, and I'll tell you why later. You've heard the saying, do not judge a book by its cover. Well, this is it. The reason she doesn't want to be photographed at the moment, apart from because she's fucking ugly, is, and they're her words, not mine, is because she's had teeth removed, she's got a brace put in and everything else. So she wears a mask a lot because she doesn't want to smile. But once she's had the makeover, and we will be start to build a house in Cordova, because we bought some land there, then I will start including her in the videos, depending on the amount of subscribers or viewers we get. Now they know I live with a transgender, the amount of views may go down. But anyway, I don't care. Everyone's open to their own opinion. So, we started living together, separate rooms and everything else. Now, our daily routine is very strange. Her mum owned a sari store, and it's quite profitable, but she was getting a bit on in years to run it. So I said, well, beforehand, let me jump the gun. When I met Jules, she worked in the local market. She was a collector. She used to go around all the stalls every day collecting their fees for their pitch. It was a difficult job. I went with her sometimes, and it was not very pleasant. She had to walk around in the blazing heat. She had to walk around in the rainstorms. Some people would see her come in and hide. Some people would say to her, can you come back later? And basically she was messed around. And she was only getting about 9,000 pesos a month for that. She used to start work at midday and finish about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So as time went on, I said to her, look, I'll give you 10,000 every month. Stop this work, spend some time together, and I'll give you 10,000. So she packed up her job, but the 10,000 that I give her, she spends on one of her nieces and pays for a room at university. But at the same time, she also agreed to take over the Sari Stari store from her mother. Now, we worked out all the stock. It came to about 50,000. So I gave her mother 50,000 pesos for all the stock. And every night when she came home, she gave me between 400 and 500 pesos every night to pay back the 50,000 that I borrowed her. Okay, it took maybe 4 or 5 months, but in the end she paid it all back. Every night I kept a record of how much she had paid back, and in the end she paid it all back, and what she makes on the Sari Sari store now is all hers. So, how many Filipinas would do that? How many Filipinas would actually work? So this is what I'm trying to say. Don't judge a book by its cover. Even though she's a transgender, I got 100% trust in her, and she's a hard worker. They don't take anything off me for granted. So, sometime a year or so after Odette, a piece of land came up in the squatters area where the person had 10 rented rooms. She couldn't repair them. She couldn't afford to get them done because Odette ruined it, everything. So I gave her the money. We registered with the barangay, and we pay our taxes every year. And I spent about 1.5 million peso on the land and reconstruction of the whole building, and we made 11 rooms instead of the 10. Now, we rent those every month. Well, we rent them all the time, but the rent is paid monthly. The water and electricity is paid for by the tenants, and the rent they pay for every month, and they go to the Sari Sari store, which is just literally 30 metres away, and pay the rent. Now, when she comes home in the evening, she gives me the rent, and I keep a log of it on my laptop. Now, remember, let me just go back a bit. She starts work about 9 o'clock every morning, and she doesn't come home sometimes till 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening. It depends, because her Sari Sari store is right next to a chapel, and sometimes if there's a wake, people stay late and drink it, etc. Or sometimes she's locking up and someone says, ayo, Marlboro, they want 1 cigarette for 8 peso. And she has to stay open just for 1 cigarette. So she leaves the house at 10 to 9 in the morning or 9 o'clock, and doesn't come home maybe till 9, half 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. So I don't see her all day. I'm here on my own. I do things. I potter around. The painting behind me is what I painted in my time. And basically, I take her to the wholesalers for drink. I take her to what I call the mad shop for stocks on tins and soap powder and stuff like that, what she sells in the side. But that's it. I don't see her from 9 o'clock in the morning till about maybe 9 o'clock at night. But she works all that time in the store. She eats down there. She buys food from the local stores. I have breakfast on my own because she's always having a shower. I have a shower first, then she has a shower. Then at lunch, I eat my lunch, maybe an apple or something. And then in the evening, I tend to cook vegetables or chicken or whatever. But all my meals are on my own. And so every night when someone pays water or electric or their rent, I've got company. Come on. Hey. Look. Oh my God, what's that? So every evening she comes home and she pays me what the tenants have paid her. Now that money is mine. I keep a record of it. And at the moment we started the rooms, I think in November 23 is when we started renting them out. So it's nearly 500,000 paid back So, no, probably about 500,000, yeah, paid back so far. Okay, it'll take maybe 3 or 4 years, but that's not the point. She's paying that money back. Same as her mother. Her mother borrowed some money to buy a laptop for this niece that's in university. I gave her the money because I didn't want her to go to a loan place where they had interest on top. So I bought the laptop, and she gives me money every month and pays it back. And she only owes a couple of months now. They never ask for anything. If they do, I help them out either voluntarily or they pay it back to me every month because she gets pensions and that. Now, would your Filipina do that? Would your Filipina's family do that? See? Don't judge a book by its cover. Now, even though my partner is a transgender, I like to add that she does not take part in any men's or women's sports. She's about as active as a frog with one hind leg. She goes into the men's toilets, which I find quite amusing, especially when we go to SM Mall. There's one entrance in SM Mall where you go down the steps. When entering, there's men's on the right and women's on the left. She always goes to the men's toilet. She doesn't, you know, she doesn't assume that she's a female as such. Now, I don't go in the toilets with her at the same time because I like to stand back, especially near the lotto desk in SM Mall, and I find it absolutely hilarious when I look at some of the expressions of the men that come out of that toilet. When she's walking out the toilet, men turn around and look and stare as if to say, you know, what's that? But anyway, there was a funny incident in the Maz shop the other day. She went to the toilet and she goes to the men's toilet, and she must have been standing up queuing or at the wash basin because a man walked in and saw a female in the toilet and then left and walked into the other toilet thinking it was female and male, and saw a female standing there as well. So he was totally confused that both toilets had 2 females in, and he was quite a elderly man as well. So it's things like that it's hilarious. It's quite funny, but she doesn't take it for granted. She doesn't queue up in the women's, but that's what I like about her. She wears women's clothes and that, but she go into the men's toilet because she doesn't want to cause any problems. So she goes in the men's toilet. But it is quite hilarious, honestly. It's quite hilarious. And anyway, so then what was I getting at? Yes, so we've got the 11 rooms that we rent, and she gives me the money for that. And once she's paid me back the 1.5 million, then that is money for us. Now, the money that I get from the rental rooms, I live on. So I don't touch my pension. I have a military pension also, which I also are paying for someone on my side to go to university. So we've got 2 people at universities really that's we spend money on. But once they're paid up next year, then I've got my 2 pensions. I don't spend any of my pensions at the moment. Personally, it goes on people in university, and the rest is saved in the bank. When university finish, we'll have more money saved up in the bank because I can still live on the rental rooms. Not only that, but it's our idea that when we build the house in Cordova, we will convert this house into rooms also. So we get income from the rooms, 11 rooms, and the rooms here, which may, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 rooms, maybe more, I don't know. But that's in time. So, as you can see, my cat is getting very, very horny at the moment. He really wants out, but I'm sorry. So, as you can see, yes, I do live with a transgender, but I live with a transgender. I've only seen her naked once, and that was embarrassing because John Thomas was much bigger than mine, and that's it. On a Sunday, she has a day off where is the only opportunity that we get to actually sit down and talk. We have lunch together. She cleans her room because she's untidy, and I clean my room, and we basically clean the house and everything else. So I've no doubt that I will get negative fucking comments from some dickhead saying, oh, you must be gay. You know, I'm not fucking gay, okay? If any man or whoever, any male puts his hand on my leg or tries to fucking come on with me, I will fucking nut him. He will fucking lose his teeth. I am not gay, okay? We are good friends, and I trust her 100% more than I would some Filipinas. They never ask for money. They pay everything back that I give them. And we are in a comfortable situation, and there's a lot of people jealous of her. They say, well, I'm a real woman, but look, she's got more than me and everything. You know, jealousy over here is unbelievable sometimes. So that's my take on the reason why I don't show my partner on any videos yet. But once we start the house build, and once she starts getting her teeth sorted out and everything else, she doesn't want to be on the videos at the moment, and I'm quite happy with that. You won't see her face anyway because she wears a mask all the time. Even though COVID's finished, she still wears a mask. But that's it. I make these videos during the day when I'm on my own, and that's basically it, I think. Yes, we met up just by chance. I soon fucked all the boys off that were sending me messages on Filipino Cupid, showing pictures of themselves on the beach, showing all their muscles out. These sick bastards, fuck off. Anyway, that's enough from me. If you like this video, please subscribe. As you know, I say the truth. I don't send a load of old bollocks. I don't go on about do this when you come to the Philippines, do that when you come to the Philippines, how to treat a Filipina, how to treat a family. Everyone is different. Every family is different. Every Filipina is different. Some of these Filipinas on YouTube make me fucking vomit. The way they walk around and move around in front of the camera as if they're fucking top-class models, showing their arse and everything. I'm not fucking interested in that. I'll sooner watch a couple. There's a couple that I watch in Davao. Just their daily life. That's what I like. They're just simple daily life. I'm not interested in these fucking girls, climbing up ladders and in their shorts and everything, and the camera's on their arse. I'm not fucking interested in that. I'll sooner have someone that I can trust, excuse me, like I have. I trust her with 100%. She's the most trustworthy person, and she's helped me a lot in the Philippines, not getting scammed by freaking people. She will not let people scam me, okay? And yes, she's a man, or he's a man, but she's a transgender, and I admire her for honesty. I admire her for being what she is, or wanting to be what she is. I admire her for that. And she doesn't, she's just an ordinary person that not one of these fucking bimbos on fucking YouTube showing their tits and their fucking arse. What for? And they don't go out to work, they don't contribute anything, they do fuck all apart pose in front of the fucking camera. Anyway, that's my whinge. It's coming up to 29:17, nearly 30 minutes. Please subscribe, like, share, do whatever you want with it. Negative comments, I will just fuck them off. Or if they are a bit near the mark, I may fucking publish them. I may tell the world the comments. So, yes, I live with a transgender, and that's it. And if you don't want to, if you want to unsubscribe or do anything, and my cat is annoying me, and I will kick him up the arse in a minute. Anyway, that's enough from me. That's my say on the matter. That's the reason why my partner is not in my videos, because she's fucking ugly at the moment. But that's her words, not mine. Okay, see you later. Bye.